Okay, this was a real treat, an added treat. I'd forgotten that this was even here. The Texas was moved here along with the the cyclorama, to its new home. The Texas, you can see, the cyclorama is not open until next month. Well, 2 months from now, basically, unfortunately. I won't see it for a long time. I've seen it before, but I haven't seen it since it was restored and moved. The Texas, in addition to being an exhibit, is now a child's play area. It's basically an unpadded child's play area now. And in addition to having been restored from 2015 to 2017, it is the original, built in 1856, workhorse for the Western Atlantic Railroad, and part of the second part of the famous Great Locomotive Chase, which was not nearly as romantic as it sounded. Some guys stole this, and the general, which we'll see tomorrow, hopefully, is in Kennesaw, was known then as Big Shanty. But this is a really nice little exhibit that they put together here. And this is an extraordinary piece of equipment to be able to see, almost 200 years old. And they've spared no expense in giving it this home. Hopefully it'll be a permanent home. And we're probably not going to go up into the cab or whatever it is they call the area where the men stood and worked the machinery, because there's a lot of children up there. But you can see, I saw this in, I saw it back at the original over by Grant Park back in the day. I don't recall then that the exhibit was this nice. The whole exhibit includes a milepost, an original milepost which we've seen at home. Of course, this would have been the dirt line right here, so that much of it was buried, that much was on top, so that's how far down they put it to make sure it didn't move. This tells some of the story of it, and like I said, this is not romantic. These guys were spies. They got hanged in the end, but it made a lot of papers, and it sounded very romantic. Hollywood has, of course, done their Hollywood thing to it, the fake news machine in full blown. That by stealing this train, it was somehow going to shorten the war, but nothing was even close to the truth. This is the original engine back in the day. It was before it was restored for the first time. It was at Grant Park at Fort Walker, near where we were the other day. Now, I believe when I saw this 20 years ago that it was inside. It wasn't inside here. I think this was more like what it represented here. I think that's actually where it was. But they restored it, and they've done a great job. I mean, the exhibit is first rate. They've spared no expense in making it the focal point of this particular exhibit. And here we have the various transformations of it. Originally it was 212, and not 12 like it is now. Here's a picture of the Texas working. I mean, it did what it did during the war, but it continued to work before and after the war. It was just a piece of equipment, so it wasn't warehoused, or like it wasn't a war machine or anything like that. We will go up in the cab just to try to get an idea of, it's McDonald's Chuck E. Cheese happy hour right now. This is the coal car that all steam engines have to have into them.
So that 3 people.
Of course, the center is the boiler. That's what drives everything. So, exceptional. Very, very incredible. And to cap off the tour, we'll show you a part of it. We're not going to get to see this trip, and maybe who knows for how many more years. This is where the new cyclorama will be, or is right now. It's all done. It's just a question of opening it. They've got a few little patches to patch in some of these exhibit areas, but painting itself is done and ready to go. So, very cool. A very exciting stop on the tour.